Cheesy the Podcast, presented by Just Cheesy Productions.
Hi there, I'm your host Fondue.
I'm Cheesy.
In this week's episode, we're going to learn all about the scent of cheese.
Ooh.
We're going to learn why cheeses stink, how candles are made to smell like cheese, and we're even going to learn a little bit about scratch and sniff.
Wow.
We're going to tell you where you can buy stuff that smells like cheese,
Okay.
and of course, we're going to tell a very cheesy joke. Stay tuned for episode 217, Cheese Scented, on Just Cheesy, the podcast. Love it or hate it, cheese usually comes with a unique smell.
Yeah.
The cause of that smell is rather sciencey.
It is?
The American Chemical Society, ACS.org, tells us a little bit about why cheese stinks.
Ooh.
And we've talked about this before too, that
Yep.
sometimes cheese smells like sweaty socks.
Ew.
And that's because of something called Brevibacterium linens.
Yeah.
This is a bacteria that loves cheese rinds.
Ew.
And why does it smell like feet? Well,
Yeah, why?
it's because that good old B. linens is
Yeah?
the same type of bacteria that lives on human skin,
Ugh.
especially in sweaty, dark places like feet and armpits. And believe it or not, that B. linens is intentionally added to cheeses like Limburger and Munster.
Whoa.
And that bacteria has to eat to get energy.
It does?
According to AskDrUniverse.wsu.edu, these guys have to eat, and they also produce stinky gas.
Farts.
And that gas, a lot of times, it includes ammonia or sulfur compounds, and that's
Ew.
responsible for the smell of a lot of stinky cheeses. And of course, when that molecule comes in contact with your nose, it helps your brain figure out what you're smelling.
Yeah.
And interestingly, we started this episode thinking we were going to talk about things that are cheese scented.
Yeah.
I didn't know how they got the smell into, let's say, a cheese candle.
Cheese candle?
Yeah, they make cheese scented candles.
Whoa.
The first thing I thought was maybe they put a little cheese in there to burn it, and that is not what happens.
It isn't?
According to bmvfragrances.com, things like candles that are scented use something called fragrance oils.
Whoa.
This is like perfume and candles and personal care products.
Wow.
First, they say you have different, let's say, notes. It almost sounds like wine tasting.
Okay.
But a scent profile has 3 different notes.
Okay.
There's something called a top note.
Okay.
The top note is the first thing that you detect. It's light, it's quick, and it fades fast.
Ooh.
The middle or heart note comes in after the top note has evaporated.
Wow.
This is the one they say provides character and personality.
Whoa.
They're often floral, fruity, or spicy.
Ooh.
And then you have the base note. This is deep, long-lasting scents that become noticeable as the fragrance dries down.
Whoa.
This is the one that lingers after everything else fades.
Ooh.
So those fragrance oils are used to make things like candles smell.
Whoa.
And boy, did we come across quite a few of them.
Yeah, we
Back
did.
in 2019, according to thethrillist.com, Qdoba, the restaurant, had launched a queso candle.
Queso candle?
This queso candle ran about $10.
Really?
And it was meant to replicate the smell of cheddar, American, and Monterey Jack cheeses.
Ooh.
It must have been a limited time offering. I can't find it now.
Aw.
But I did find something else.
You did?
StinkyCandleCompany.com
Oh.
has something called Nacho Cheese Candle.
Whoa.
This is a 4-ounce candle. It goes for $11.99. It's on sale, and you can buy it on their website. I've got the link in the show notes.
Whoa.
This website doesn't disappoint.
Nope.
They've got more than just cheese.
Yeah, they do.
They've got number 2 pencil.
Whoa.
They've got wet grass.
Ew.
They've got buttered popcorn.
Ooh.
Clean puppy.
What?
Grandma's clean floors.
Okay.
Apple pie.
Yeah?
New car.
Whoa.
And even vomit.
Ew.
The Stinky Candle Company is not a sponsor,
Nope.
but if they were, their ad would go right here. Have you ever wanted to listen to the web?
Yeah,
Well, Newsly makes that possible.
they do.
They're an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android.
Super app.
You can listen to trending articles on the web on topics that you choose and get them read to you in a natural human voice.
What kind of topics?
Sports,
Cheese?
tech, business, science.
Cheese?
I'm sure there's even cheese.
Yay!
They even have an entire section for podcasts.
Are we there?
Of course we are.
Ooh.
It's one of my new favorite podcast apps. They even have digital radio.
Holy cow.
Just go to www.newsly.me to download it free.
Whoa.
Or use the link in the description. If you use the promo code CHEESY,
Cheesy.
that'll get you 1 month free premium subscription.
Yay, Newsly.
Now, back to the podcast. There's quite a few things out there that have some cheese scent.
Yeah.
There is something called the Velveeta Pinkies Out Polish.
Whoa.
On news.kraftheinzcompany.com, they talked about this in 2022.
Yep.
They launched a cheese-scented nail polish.
Yeah, they did.
Of course, we bought it. It was very interesting and kind of cool.
Yeah, it was.
TrainingsSmoke.com has Stinky Cheese Scented Cologne Spray.
Whoa.
This is 1 ounce of Stinky Cheese Cologne.
What?
It lasts about 2 to 3 days with one application.
Why?
And it's meant to be a holiday or Halloween scented perfume.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to smell like cheese for 2 days.
No.
Back in 2021, Kraft Singles came out with their cheese-scented incense.
Incense?
And in July of last year, Panera Bread came out with mac and cheese lip balm.
What?
And then, of course, I came across the thing that just spoke to my inner child.
Yeah.
A cheese scratch and sniff sticker.
How does that work?
I had the exact same question, Cheesy. Just like so many good inventions, this was an accident.
Of course.
Wikipedia credits Gail W. Matson at 3M with accidentally inventing the technology in the 1960s.
Whoa.
He was working on microencapsulation for carbonless copy paper.
Whoa.
According to science.howstuffworks.com, this technology takes an aroma-generating chemical and encapsulates it in either gelatin or plastic spheres
Really?
that are incredibly small. They're on the order of just a few microns in diameter.
Whoa.
Then when you scratch a sticker, you rupture some of these spheres and it releases the smell.
Wow.
It's as if the smell is held in millions of tiny bottles.
Ooh.
And every time you scratch a sticker, you break a few of the bottles.
Whoa.
Because of that microencapsulation, that aroma can be preserved for extremely long periods of time.
Whoa.
One of the very first uses of scratch and sniff technology was in a book in 1971 called Little Bunny Follows His Nose.
Aw.
This featured various smells like peaches, roses, and pine needles.
Whoa.
Of course, stickers became very popular in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, they did.
And believe it or not, scratch and sniff was not just for kids.
Really?
There's a scratch and sniff sticker that's occasionally used to help diagnose anosmia.
Whoa.
Some utility companies have put scratch and sniff cards in their bills to educate the public.
Really?
And this helps them recognize the smell of methane gas leaks.
Wow.
Of course, in 1987, the cards were distributed by Baltimore Gas and Electric Company, and that led to a rash of false alarms
Oh, no.
when the scent of the cards in unopened envelopes were mistaken for real gas leaks.
Oh, no.
Sounds like they nailed that scent profile. Wikipedia goes on to list quite a few different things that have scratch and sniff surfaces.
Okay.
There were album covers
Ooh.
and books, DVDs.
Whoa.
The Postal Service in France, well, they issued a stamp
What?
depicting baguettes that you could scratch and sniff.
Ooh la la.
And there was even a gentleman's magazine that had scratch and sniff on one of its pages.
Oh, no.
My sentiments exactly.
Yeah.
We do not have a link to that in our show notes.
Nope.
But we do have a link in our show notes to our Amazon list called Cheese Scented Stuff.
Yep.
January 20th is National Cheese Lovers Day.
Woo woo.
Check out our list and buy something cheese scented for someone you love.
I'm ready for a joke, Fondue.
Okay, how do some cheeses get away with smelling so bad?
I don't know.
Because they have great personalities.
Ha, ha, ha.
Get it? Like GRATE, like you great cheese?
That joke stinks, get it?
Haha, I see what you did there.
Yep.
And it was a little bit cheesy. Thanks for listening to episode 217, Cheese Scented.
Thank you.
Don't forget that January 20th is National Cheese Lovers Day.
Woo woo.
Make sure to have some cheese and let us know how you celebrate this awesome day.
And stay cheesy, everybody.